Hello everyone, my name is Vignesh. Today I will be dealing with history and development of pharmacovigilance. Pharmacovigilance is defined by the European Commission as the process and science of monitoring the safety of medicines and taking further actions to reduce the risk and increase the benefits of medicines. Pharmacovigilance is mainly derived from two words. One is pharmakon, next is vigilia. Pharmaco in Greek means medicinal substance. Vigilia in Latin means to keep watch. So pharmacovigilance means to keep watch of any medicinal substance. Pharmacovigilance is also defined by the WHO as the pharmacological science related to the detection, assessment, understanding, and prevention of adverse effects, particularly long-term and short-term adverse effect of any medicine. All medicines, either it may be a pharmaceutical or vaccine, has some side effects. Some are known and many of them are still unknown. The important to monitor both known and unknown side effects of medicine in order to determine any new information in relation to their safety profile. The main aim of pharmacovigilance is to identify new information about hazards associated with any medicine. The following are the objectives of pharmacovigilance, that is to improve patient care and safety, to improve public health and safety, to encourage safe, rational and appropriate use of drugs, promote understanding, education and clinical training in pharmacovigilance. These are the main objectives of pharmacovigilance. These are the approaches of pharmacovigilance. Pharmacovigilance looks at all available information to assess the safety profile of a drug. Pharmacovigilance should also take in the benefit of the drug into account. The International Pharmacovigilance System aims to monitor the benefit-risk ratio of a drug as well as to improve the patient safety and their quality of life. So we know that anti-cancer drugs are associated with many side effects, but pharmacovigilance it also in this time pharmacovigilance will monitor the benefit-risk ratio. In this particular phenomenon, they will take into account the benefit rather than risk. Pharmacovigilance activity include collecting and managing data on the safety of medicine, looking at individual case report to detect any new signals. This is the broad picture of overall working of pharmacovigilance. First, they will suspect any ADR. Followed by there will be reporting of ADR to reporting of ADR. Then there will be analysis of particular ADR in a particular group of people, and followed by increasing the number of people for a particular adverse drug reaction. So adverse drug reaction, pharmacovigilance is mainly concerned with the monitoring of ADR. So we need to know what is the difference between side effects and ADR. Side effects means these are the effects which are documented, predicted and previously studied during the preclinical trials or clinical trials. For example, minoxidil. Minoxidil was primarily used as antihypertensive drug, but the side effects associated with minoxidil was unwanted hair growth. Then there was preclinical or clinical trials carried out using minoxidil for the hair growth. Now it was proved to be useful as androgenic alopecia. But when it comes to adverse effect, it is always harmful. For example, when we take antimalarial, there will be hemolytic anemia in the person. If a person having the deficiency of glucose 6 phosphate, it is an enzyme which converts glucose to glucose 6 phosphate. So it causes hemolytic anemia when a person take chloroquine or primaquine or anything. So this adverse effect it may not be documented in clinical trials, or they are also unpredictable and undesirable. This is the broad picture of pharmacovigilance came into picture. First is chloroform event. The history of pharmacovigilance started 170 years ago when a young girl, Hannah Greener from north of England died after receiving the chloroform anesthetic for the removal of infected toenail. Nowadays we have sulfonamides or any other local anesthetic for the treatment of any infection. But in those days they were using chloroform anesthetic. We know that chloroform anesthetic is highly potent, but though in those days there was no proof that chloroform is high potent, high potent or high harmful. In those days they used chloroform anesthetic for any minor surgeries also. So this was the main event that triggered the development of pharmacovigilance. Followed by chloroform event, the US FDA was formed on June 30, 1906, and it established that drugs must be pure and free of any contamination. Furthermore, in 1911, this organization forbade false therapeutic indications of drugs. In 1937, there were 107 deaths in USA because of the use of sulfonamide elixir containing diethyl glycol as the solvent. In those days, it was believed that only API causes ADR or any side effects, but this event caused due to diethyl glycol, which was used as solvent for sulfonamide. This diethyl glycol causes vomiting, diarrhea, headache, and particularly acute kidney failure. It is going to cause acute kidney failure. So in 1937, this diethyl glycol solvent has caused 107 deaths in USA. In 1938, death rates suppose that acetyl salicylic acid, which is nothing but aspirin, could cause melena. Melena is nothing but upper GIT distress or any other GIT related problem. However, in 1955, it was proved that aspirin can cause GIT distress, and therefore it is contraindicated in ulcers in nowadays also. Particularly, thalidomide tragedy evoked the discovery of separate branch called pharmacovigilance. We know that what is the effect of thalidomide is going to cause teratogenic effect, means the child which was born during the next generation, it was having short limbs. In 1961, a big change of European pharmacovigilance happened following the tragedy of thalidomide. They observed that the incidence of congenital malformations of babies was increased from 1.5% to 20% in women who had taken thalidomide during the pregnancy. This thalidomide was taken for morning sickness. It has also some immunomodulatory properties, and it is also used as sleep pill by the pregnant ladies. But it has caused congenital malformations in babies. In particular, this tragedy changed the system of pharmacovigilance because the spontaneous reporting of ADR became systemic, organized, and regulated after this event. In USA 1962, the amendment requiring the safety and efficacy data of drugs before pre-marketing submission was approved. As a result of this amendment, the safety has to include also teratogenic test in 3 different animals. So before the pre-marketing submission, they are supposed to perform the experiments on 3 different species or rodents or any laboratory animals for the confirmation of any teratogenic effect. So this was also a main development of pharmacovigilance. This was taken in USA in the year 1962. In Europe in the year 1965, the disaster of thalidomide stimulated the development of European legislation with the European Commission as directive. In 1964, Yellow Card was structured in the UK. Yellow Card is a specific one to compile a spontaneous reporting of drug toxicity. So this was directly in the hands of people who are taking drugs. So this is the yellow card which I have been displayed in the screen. In this particular yellow card, they have to fill the patient details, means age, sex, and means how long the drug has taken by the particular patient, and means you can see there is a what is the drug name or route, dosage, and the date started, means duration of administration, and for what reason this drug has been prescribed for, and they have to type particular drug reaction in this space lab, and this will be handed over to the government. In the year 1966, a pilot study of Boston Collaborative Drug Surveillance Program was started. It was the first group to conduct epidemiologic researches to quantify the potential adverse effect of drugs, utilizing in hospital monitoring, and had an essential role in the development and application of methods in drug epidemiology. In the year 1968, the WHO Program for International Drug Monitoring was instituted, and 10 members participate in this program, that is Australia, UK, USA, Germany, Canada, Sweden, Denmark, New Zealand and Netherlands. Later in the year 1965, Italy has also joined in this WHO program for monitoring the drug ADR. Many studies of observed drug reaction were carried out between 1968 and 1982. In the year 1992, the European Society of Pharmacovigilance was founded and turned into the International Society of Pharmacovigilance. This main pharmacovigilance field has evolved from the European continent, particularly England, Italy, US, France, like that. The aims of the society were to promote pharmacovigilance and enhance all aspects of the safe and proper use of medicine. In the year 1995, the European Medicine Agency was set up. In 2001, Eurovigilance was founded. It is the official European database for managing and analyzing information on suspected adverse effect to medicine, which has been authorized for the market or being studied in the clinical trials. This is the broad table how pharmacovigilance has developed in India. So in the year 1747, very first known clinical trials by James Lind proving the usefulness of lemon juice in preventing scurvy. Means lemon juice has contained lots amount of vitamin C. It was helpful in treating scurvy. This was carried out by James Lind in the year 1747. In the year 1937, death of more than 100 children due to toxicity of sulfonilamide. We have seen what is the effect of sulfonilamide in our previous slides. In the year 1950, aplastic anemia reported due to chloramphenicol toxicity. In the year 1961, worldwide tragedy of thalidomide toxicity was occurred. In the year 1963, 16th World Health Congregation recognized significant to rapid action of adverse drug reaction was taken down. In the year 1968, WHO research project for international drug monitoring on pilot scale was carried out. In the year 1996, global standard level clinical trials was initiated in the year 1996. In the year 1997, India attached with WHO ADR monitoring program. In the year 1998, initiation of pharmacovigilance in India. In the year 2002, 67 National Pharmacovigilance Center was established in India. In the year 2004-2005, India launched National Pharmacovigilance Program. In the year 2005, accomplishment of structured clinical trials in India was taken down. In the year 2009 to 2010, Pharmacovigilance Program PVPI in India was started. These are some of the drugs which was withdrawn from the market that we can see in the slide. That is, Lumiracoxib. It is a NSAID which was withdrawn from the market due to hepatotoxicity, and these are the main drug which was withdrawn from the market by the pharmacovigilance team. These are the some common banned drugs which is banned in other countries but not in India. For example, Nimsulide. We know that Nimsulide is a NSAID. It is used as a painkiller or fever. In other countries, it was banned during it was banned due to the liver failure. Next is phenylpropylamine. It is used for cold and cough. It is most prone to get stroke. Quinidoclor, it is an antidiarrheal. It has some high vision problems. It was withdrawn from the market. And Analgin, it is a painkiller. It has bone marrow depression. Thank you.